This is Pacific Coast, the community media and perpetual pulse for direct democracy. Today we are in Surrey with 5 of 6 candidates that we invited. And we're going to start right away with Dan Kashama, who is going to tell us exactly what he wants to do or why is he running for the riding of Surrey North. So Dan Kashama, we're going to give you a microphone here. It's in the wrong place. There you are. You have 3 minutes to tell us what do you want to do.
I joined the Green Party because I'm an environmentalist and I also believe in proportional representation. I also think that there has to be immigration reform. And also I think that Surrey especially has issues with crime and also a very bad infrastructure. And I'm thinking that perhaps this will be a good chance for me to make a difference. One of the things that I find egregious is the fact that the homelessness situation in Surrey is out of control. I think that last year the Highland House, which is the biggest shelter for homeless people, had to turn away about 5,000 people because they don't have enough beds. And one of the reasons that there is homelessness in this country right now is because of the prices of housing. There is not enough subsidized housing in the country, in Surrey for sure. And one of the things that has to be done is that the government has to step up and help cities basically manage the costs of housing. For a long time, the federal government has not been involved in housing in cities and has left that to the municipalities. And the cities depend largely also on property rents, property taxes, which means that they're in favor of increasing the prices of housing because they benefit from that. And so one of the things that we need to do is push for the federal government to manage the housing crisis, make housing affordable for lots of people who don't have it now. And this will go a long way in terms of solving the homelessness situation, resolving the crime problems, and also providing services for and allowing small businesses to grow. Yes, I'll leave it at that, and then we'll continue later, I suppose.
All right, that's wonderful. You are within your 3 minutes, and we will be talking more about budget and how do you want to spend tax dollars. Right. So we can talk about it a little later. But next to Dan is Donna Miller.
Dana. Thank you.
Dana. Okay. I'm sorry. It's D-A-N-A.
Yes.
Dana Miller. And she's running for Delta Richmond East. In 2004, she was the first Green Party of Canada candidate. On April 2007, she was acclaimed the Liberal candidate for Delta Richmond East. So Dana, you have 3 minutes to tell us exactly what do you want to do if you get elected as an MP.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dana Miller, the Liberal Party of Canada candidate for Delta Richmond East, and I have been a resident of Delta Richmond East since December of 2003. It's my home community. It's where I recreate, kayaking, cycling, hiking, walking, and it's also where I work on my writing business for the past 7 years. I also work in healthcare with marginalized populations throughout various communities in the Lower Mainland. I joined the Liberal Party of Canada after being a Green Party of Canada candidate and witnessing some breaches of their constitution, and I alleged some violations with the Green Party leader, council members, and executive, and reported them and was unceremoniously tossed from the Green Party of Canada. Several of those individuals still exist within the Green Party. What I find most interesting about the Green Party at this point in time is that Elizabeth May has practically endorsed Stéphane Dion to be the Prime Minister of Canada, and her platform would be taxing Canadians at the pump, whereas the Liberal Party of Canada understands that Canadians require income tax cuts at the end of the year so that they can continue to feed their children, prosper throughout the year, and to also work towards reduction of pollution. So this is why we've come up with a comprehensive plan called the Green Shift. Through some of my advocacy work over the past 4 years, working on Burns Bog UNESCO nomination and designation to protect my home community from the impacts of development, I suggested some briefings to my leader. My leader is a collaborative leader. He listens, and in doing so, he actually created a Made in BC agenda called the Green Gateway. So we will be looking at measures to reduce pollution in our community and also continue with federal infrastructure so that our nation prospers and continues to diversify our portfolio of international trade relations, which is very important for Canada because right now our trade relations are far too absorbed and intertwined with the United States. There's about an 86% degree of interrelations there with the United States, and we need to keep Canada sovereign. And so
Donna, we are coming up to the 3 minutes, so can you just finish?
Sure. So my fundamental belief is that we need to protect our environment, and in order to advance our economic strength, most of our economy is derived from the resources of environment, we need to continue the preservation of local communities' health, because all three are cyclical and entwined and interconnected. And so that is the agenda of the Liberal Party of Canada and my agenda as the...
All right. Thank you very much, Dana. And we continue with Mr. Verrier. He is the candidate for New Westminster Coquitlam. Roland Verrier for the Marxist-Leninist Party of Canada. What would you do if you were elected as a Member of Parliament?
Well, as the candidate for the Marxist-Leninist Party for the area of New Westminster Coquitlam, I'm running on a program that believes that all aspects of the political and economic and social life in Canada needs a drastic change. Today we elect people, and they're promising, candidates are promising all kinds of things when they're elected, but when they get elected, they do something different. And we believe in empowering the people, that there should be no elections without selection, fund the process, not the parties. Right now what's happening, there's $160 million given to the parties and not the process, so people can't really get involved in the politics. And that to build workers' politician, there's not too many workers in Parliament, so we need more workers because the workers are getting shafted the way things are right now, and to build renewal committees. It's very important that these committees be built so that the peers and areas can select their own candidates instead of being selected by political parties, so they know who they're electing. So it's very, that's one of the big points, is to, and also is to elect an anti-war government, because right now 56% of the people in Canada are opposed to the war in Afghanistan, yet the government proceeds with this war, and that the people have to have more input in what's going on in Parliament. Sometimes what happens is that somebody gets elected there, they change parties for no reason, they change because they get a better deal in one party than the other. What happened the other day, there was an all-candidates meeting that major parties were at, and all these candidates were mentioning what the people were saying and so forth. And if that's the case, that the people are saying one thing and these candidates know, why don't they empower the people so they can be on top of this?
Mm-hmm. All right. That's all you have to say for now, Roland?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We continue with Nicholas Langslang.
My name is Nicholas Langlands. It's Scottish.
Hey, sorry for my tongue twister there.
I'm running in Surrey North. I'm the PC candidate, and PC stands for Progressive Canadian. We are what you could say rebels of a kind. We are the members of the former Progressive Conservative Party who refuse to go along with the idea of, how I say this politely, selling your soul for power. We believe that it's more important to have honor and integrity and to always be in opposition, but do things properly, than throw away everything for a chance of power. My party is small, but we're noticed. And our main opposition, of course, is the Conservative Party, who has strayed from the path that the foundations that built this nation. My party believes that we should return to the great works of Joe Clark, Diefenbaker, and our founder, Sir John A. Macdonald. Personally, I believe that accountability, integrity, and that rare word in politics, honor, needs to be restored to Ottawa. It needs to be brought back, and the only way that we're going to do that, regardless of various methods that other politicians might propose, is for the people to decide to not vote for the people that tell them what they want to hear, the people that will tell them what they need to hear, the people that they believe in, and the people that will act with honor and integrity in Ottawa. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I should mention that Mr. Langlands was born and raised in Victoria, and he has been a resident of Surrey for the past 10 years. We continue with Mr. David Blair. Mm-hmm. That's an easier name for me. Thank you. And
Thanks,
he's running for the South Surrey, White Rock, Cloverdale. And he wants to shift from representative democracy to participatory democracy. I'd like to hear some more of that sometime. He has been a director for Parks and Recreation and Smithers, and he's been involved with public awareness organizations like SPARC, the Social Planning and Research Council of BC. So, Mr. David Blair, please tell us why do you want to be the Green representative for White Rock, Cloverdale, South Surrey?
Okay. You know, it's the first thing I want to comment on is I think this is a great opportunity because I see people coming out and they're talking about issues that are really important to the community, and everyone here, I sincerely believe, has the best interest of the community at heart. And you got to notice who's not here. There's people missing, and that's an important point. Getting back to your question, yeah, my name is Dave Blair. I've been the Deputy Director in Surrey, so a lot of people already know me in Surrey for 25 years for options. And Dan mentioned Highland House. I've worked with homeless, I've worked with street youth, I've worked with child protection, all kinds of things. I've done all kinds of stuff over 25 years, which, you know, I'm proud of. I'm very proud of. I did some good stuff. But during the course of that, what I found was I didn't find many political parties that I could feel good about. I dealt with government. I was a government agent for quite a while. They tended to serve their own very specific stakeholders, and they tended to serve their own interests in terms, and, you know, they want to get reelected. That's what it was all about. There was cycles. They get elected. They do some things that they promised. Then they go through the 3 and 4 year period where they put some things back out to gain popularity again. And it's so predictable, and it's so anti what's best for the general community that I really felt opposed to it. So when I retired, I said, hey, I'm going to do some research. And the only party, and I'm sorry you had a bad experience with the Green Party, the only party that I found that actually had a long-term altruistic view was the Green Party. And that's the only one I could possibly be part of. The Green Party has a very good platform, and I encourage anybody to look it up and read it and go through it. And it's very collaborative. It's very inclusive of other parties. It doesn't matter where a good idea comes from. It's more what's best for the community. And I know Elizabeth May has been criticized recently for taking the stance that who's the leader of the Green Party. that regardless of how you view things, consider all the facts and vote for who you think is going to be best for your community, your future, your children's future, and do that. And she was criticized because that was said to be, a sign of a poor leader, that she should have been saying vote green. But the reality is that really is what's most important. This election will go by and will be done. What's really important is that we do something that's going to make a difference, and we do need to make a difference. The timing is urgent. We need to make a difference now.
All right. Well, thank you very much, David Blair. And we're going to go into the next segment of our program, which is a question. And if you want to, I hope you had the chance to go to NowPolling.ca and look at our finance heading there, which has a whole series of subtopics. And I'm giving you one of the subtopics each, and we're going to start. Maybe we'll start with David Blair, since we started on this side before. If you want to read the topic that you have there from NowPolling.ca, one of the financial topics, and maybe just read the one of the answers that have been put in there, and tell us whether you agree with it or you think that it should be something else. If none of those answers is what you believe in, tell us how would you rephrase that.
I would definitely support a comprehensive health care plan. I mean, that goes without saying for anybody.
Can you tell us what the heading is of that topic? What is the heading?
Healthcare.
Healthcare?
Yeah.
And we're talking of, under federal polls, of finance, the total finance of the nation.
Yeah.
And one of the ways of distributing that finance, one of the subheadings there is healthcare transfers. And,
Yeah.
and your answer is the first one, the second one, the third one?
Well, I was just getting going.
I'm sorry.
But, I mean, the answer really, I think, is very complex. I think it is...
But none of the answers there is suitable to you?
It would be a combination of the first and the second.
Okay, and that would read how?
Well, I mean, government should pay for things, and there's also the opportunity for private firms to pay for things. Mm-hmm. And I think you have to consider their ability to pay and how they might do that, and come up with, and probably be a graduated system of going through, okay, for now, we've got lots of folks willing to pay in the private sector, and they're not going to drop those programs just like that. So it's a transition. You have to, but I would move towards something that's more universal. There's lots of private companies that do pay health care. They do have very generous benefit plans.
Mm-hmm. So you would frame a new answer to that poll, and once you're registered there, you have actually the ability to put in your own words, within 20 words or so, what would be the alternative to the ones that already exist there. And you're saying that you would like a little more of a mixed system where some people will pay and some people would have 100% free service?
No, I think if you look at it in operational terms, like how you get from here to there, if you want to get to there, which is a paid-for system, you've already got private companies paying for portions of it.
And you support that?
Well, I'm talking about employee benefits, right?
Well, we're talking of healthcare.
Yeah. So people
All right.
want to go to the dentist.
All right.
A lot of people get that paid for already.
Uh-huh.
It's paid for by their employer, or it's paid for by whomever.
Can you read the first answer there, the number one answer that most people have voted for? What does it say?
Well, to expand government budgets to pay for healthcare needs.
100%?
Yeah, that's correct.
But that's not the one that you would choose.
No, that's the goal. That's where we should end up.
That's the goal, but that's not what you would choose right now. If you were to vote on that poll.
Well, I've been a manager for 25 years, and I know that to get to that goal, you would have to go through a transition that would probably be a year long.
Okay, but you make a decision at what point, which way you want to go. And that is not your choice, the number one?
No, that's goal number one.
Goal number one, but
Yes, that would be the goal.
okay.
But the means is it's not as simple as it sounds.